Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. So today I got a fun and exciting episode of guys this evening as I'm taking a look at a work in progress build of Grand Theft Auto Vice City running on the Sega Dreamcast. If you don't remember, about a month and a half ago I did a review on Grand Theft Auto 3 being ported over to Dreamcast. Absolutely stunning effort that's even improved since I talked about that release. Now do be aware that this is just a work in progress build. It isn't publicly available, but the actual developer Falco Girgis sent me over this just to talk about the overall project, and what I'm seeing so far is still a straight up 10 out of 10. And honestly, given the choice between Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City, I'll take Vice City any day of the week. Not to say that the original game was not groundbreaking and amazing, but there's something about Vice City and the overall Scarface Tony Montana vibes going on here that just hits a little bit better as far as the storyline is concerned. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But honestly, I absolutely love seeing this happen on Dreamcast, and I love the dude hanging in the meat locker in the back as well. There's so much little visual storytelling in this game, so many small details, that if you blink you'll miss something that is very important, just as far as that background storytelling is concerned. All the characters here have so much charm and so much flair. This is exactly the Vice City that you fell in love with back in the day, but now it's running on the Sega Dreamcast, and that is absolutely wild because, of course, Grand Theft Auto 3 was always planned to come to the Dreamcast, but then it got moved over to PlayStation 2. So basically this is righting a historical wrong and giving us a game we should have got back in the day. So it's a little bit of alternate Sega history. Just think you were in a universe where we're playing like the Dreamcast 5 right now versus the PlayStation 5, or maybe they could both exist at the same time. I just wish we lived in a universe where the Dreamcast wasn't the final Sega hardware. But honestly, seeing Vice City run this well on real Dreamcast hardware, even though this isn't done, is absolutely staggeringly impressive. And the developer sent me over a screenshot last night when he was sending me the file saying that the first person had actually beaten the game and saw the credit scrolls. This is still in testing. There are still improvements to come, but I'm sure sometime soon you're going to be playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City on your Dreamcast, and I will show you later on in the video some footage of it running in Flycast as well. It does emulate, but we're starting here on real Dreamcast hardware, and big thanks to Andy D for helping with the captures. My Dreamcast Toro box broke another cable. I swear those things break if you even look at them the wrong way. Great device, but the cabling could definitely use some work. But as we just kind of look around Vice City here, it's just such a picturesque place. I've always loved the aesthetic of this game way more than the original Grand Theft Auto 3. It's bright, it's vibrant, it has that Miami charm to it, and it really does feel about as close as you can get to playing a Scarface video game, and it even plays better than the actual Scarface video game. And on Dreamcast right now, it is running relatively well. There's going to be a frame drop here and there. It's going to be a little bit of chop, but again, all of those optimizations you saw on Grand Theft Auto 3 on Dreamcast are going to be here in Vice City once the development is quote-unquote finished up. But again, once you actually have a version to play, I'm sure there will still be improvements as they go along. And honestly, Vice City, just a straight up 10 out of 10. Any video game that has Burt Reynolds as a voice actor is going to be absolute perfection to me. When you include the bandit in anything, it just makes the game that much more fun off the top. And fun and random story, many years ago, around like 2007, at the Powder Ski Movie Awards in Aspen, Colorado, I met Burt Reynolds' ex-wife, Lonnie Anderson, and I maybe made out with her while drunk, but you can ask about that in the comments. But now that we have a little bit of a wanted level, we can absolutely cause some chaos here, and that is the name of the game in pretty much any Grand Theft Auto. Most people go through the story missions, but honestly, just running around and seeing what you can accomplish and destroy in the world is going to be fun in its own right. That's usually the way I love to play the game. But basically, the entirety of Vice City is here, and the physics and all of the coding are holding together. Every once in a while, you might see a car go into the sky, but that happens in the base game as well. You can always get this game to break in some of the most fabulously fun ways possible, and that's about as much fun as Vice City can ever be when you're just pushing at the edges of the game, seeing what you can accomplish and seeing what is possible. Now I am going to do a quote-unquote soundtrack sample because it's going to be voice over in dialogue, because of course this game is littered with nothing but licensed music, which will absolutely just make the video impossible to talk about. So go ahead and watch one of the cutscenes for like 50 seconds, hear how good it sounds right now, and I'll come back and show you a ton more gameplay of Vice City running on Dreamcast. But enjoy!
Okay, that's them in the chopper. All right, here's the deal. They want a straight exchange on open ground. All right? Okay, stay tight. Let's go. Got it?
100% pure grade A Colombian, my friend.
Let me see it.
The greens?
10s and 20s. Used.
I think we have a deal, my friend.
Shit! Come on, get out of here! Drive!
I just absolutely love all the cutscenes in Vice City, and honestly, having actual actors do the voice acting just makes this game sound so fresh, because this was still in an era where you'd have voice acting that would be absolutely abysmal and take you out of the story. You will see a couple of glitches there on that cop. You have a couple of those vertices just kind of shooting out from him. Not sure if it's supposed to be lighting or if it's some sort of exploding polygon, but again, as it is a work in progress build, that's 100% to be expected. But I love the lens flare here and that warm Miami sun with the palm trees in the background on the beach. It just has such an atmosphere. I've always loved palm trees and warm colors in game and even in real life, obviously. It's just one of those things. It looks incredible coming out of the Dreamcast, and in some ways I think this looks much better than the PlayStation 2 version of the game. And don't get me wrong, I love PlayStation 2, but what we're seeing on Grand Theft Auto 3 and starting to see on Vice City is we're probably going to end up having versions that run better and look better on Dreamcast hardware than we are on PlayStation 2, and it really does go to show just how powerful the Dreamcast was. Sure, it came out before the PlayStation 2, and in some ways it is on paper weaker hardware, but in other ways it actually has more power and capabilities than the PlayStation 2, and in capable coding hands you get some results that are just absolutely spectacular. And obviously bringing over Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City to Dreamcast, you know the developers are more than capable. They're basically doing a full development house worth of work as a fan project, because think of that back in the day. If you wanted to have Grand Theft Auto Vice City on a different platform, you had a team of workers coding it and porting it over. It was not a fan project. It wasn't done in people's spare times. It was a career. But now in 2025, you have fans and developers just basically saying, I think I can make this work. Let's see what we can do. And then suddenly you have Grand Theft Auto Vice City running on Dreamcast, and that is just straight up awesome as hell. I love these type of projects. It's just one more way to play an incredible game, and it gives Dreamcast another amazing title to check out. And that is always the best part, because you know me, you know the channel. I absolutely love Sega, especially Dreamcast and Naomi Generation Sega, so seeing this run kind of feels like it rights a wrong. Back in the day, everyone was saying Dreamcast was underpowered compared to PlayStation 2, and Dreamcast basically got crapped on in most magazines with people just saying, wait for PlayStation 2 to come out, and that basically killed the Dreamcast at retail. And don't get me wrong, I understand Sega, especially Sega of America, made some mistakes with Dreamcast, the marketing and everything else behind it, and Saturn and 32X had kind of spoiled the overall confidence people had in Sega, but all of the press with PlayStation 2 coming, and maybe you should just wait for that, basically hobbled Dreamcast before it even saw retail shelves, and that's why it didn't live a very long life. And you can tell from Vice City here, Dreamcast had so much more to offer. The frame rate, the graphics, even in an alpha work in progress, are just absolutely incredible, and I'm sure by the time you watch this video, the developers have added even more features in and more improvements. And I'm definitely going to keep covering this as more builds come out, and big thanks again to Falco for sending this over to me to check out. I was stoked to see it, and I absolutely love what it's doing so far, but we're going to short this jump here and do one more soundtrack sample. I'll be right back.
I have been sitting in this chair all night with the lights off, drinking coffee. This is a disaster. We are so screwed, man. These gorillas, listen to me, are gonna come down here and rip my head off. It's ridiculous. I did not go to law school for this. Okay, now what the hell are we gonna do?
Shut up, sit down, relax. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. You're gonna find out who took our cocaine, and then we're gonna kill them.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea. Let me...
Sounds so good in its alpha build, and if you notice that the models got an uptick in quality, that's because we moved over to Flycast versus real Dreamcast hardware, so you can kind of see how it runs on emulation. It's going to be nice that people who have multiple ways to play this, honestly playing on a real Dreamcast is going to be the de facto fun way, and if you have a GDEMU, you're going to be able to do that, at least on this image, but I'm sure that'll change in the future again. You'll see here a little bit of a hitch on Flycast, but it is still in development, and it is one of those things. The fact that this even works in and of itself and works so well at this early stage is a testament to how well Falco understands the Dreamcast and how good the Dreamcast hardware truly is, because this proves in a perfect world, you would have had Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City running on Dreamcast hardware every bit as good, if not better, than it did on PlayStation 2, and these would have been Dreamcast games, not PlayStation 2 games, and that's a history I wish I lived in. But next time there's a fun alpha that I can demo on the channel, I definitely will, but we're done, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.